Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name's Amy. I'm a program assistant at Baggett. And I wanted to talk to you about, the end of the year. It's New Year's. In just a couple days, we will be starting 2022. And I know a lot of people talk about those resolutions, and I'm kind of not a fan of resolutions, mostly because they've become a joke. I mean, people set them and it's like, how fast can you break them? I think that I saw a meme the other day that was something like, I'm going to open a place called Resolutions, and the first 2 weeks of the year it's going to be a gym, and the rest of the year it's going to be a bar. So I just kind of, throw that whole word out. However, I'm big on goals. I think it's very important to set goals for your year, for little goals along the way as you go. So each week to have some goals that build up to your year. But something I learned a long time ago, and it kind of followed along with my weight loss, was to set SMART goals using the acronym SMART. And so I wanted to talk about that as we go into 2022. Maybe you sit down on New Year's Eve, maybe you set some goals for the year, whether you call them goals or resolutions, whatever, they can still go along the same way. But using this acronym kind of helps how you think about it, what kind of things you want to set. Because sometimes we just hear other people's goals and we think, oh, sure, that sounds good, I'll try that. But we need to make sure that it's something that we really want to do. So S stands for specific. So I used this kind of a lot in my weight loss journey because people will go, well, I want to lose weight this year. Well, if technically you're down 0.2 pounds by the end of 2022, you would have lost some weight this year. Would you be happy with that? No, probably not. So you need to be specific. Make the goals focused. Identify a tangible outcome. That's kind of the most important thing. Without those, you run the risk of being too vague, and it's easy to just kind of skip out on. And you also want to identify what kind of resources you're going to have available to you. So, whatever type of goals you're trying to set this year, be specific, whether it's weight loss, maybe it's getting some activity, maybe you just want to start getting up, sitting a little bit less this year. They call it sitting disease. It's worse for us than smoking. Often a lot of people work out during the day, but then, they'll go and do an hour at the gym and then they'll sit the whole rest of the day and it kind of negates it. So maybe it's about sitting less. Maybe it's some work goals that you have, things that you want to accomplish there. Maybe it's just that you want to not sit at your desk all day. So it's maybe taking a break from work here and there. All sorts of different goals that you can set. Maybe it's spending more time with friends and family. Whatever it is, be specific about it, okay? Don't just say you want to spend more time doing this. Be specific. The second one is measurable. And those kind of go hand in hand a little bit. It has to be measurable. Otherwise, how are you going to know that you're attaining that success? So make sure that it's not just, I'm going to walk more. It's, I'm going to walk 20 minutes 3 times a week, so that there's something that you can measure and see. This is how it's going. This is my success. Maybe you get to go a little above and beyond what you thought you would time wise. So measurable. All right. The next one is attainable. Let's face it, we'd all love to lose 20 pounds in a week, kind of thing. That's not possible. Getting up off your couch, having not even walked around your block in a year and suddenly doing a half marathon, not really attainable. You might be able to do it. You will not be walking the next day at all. So make sure they're attainable. It should be challenging, yes, but still reasonable to achieve, because otherwise you won't be able to feel successful. And what tends to make us want to continue in our goals is when we have that little bit of success. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. Also, with that, outline your plan. When I first started my weight loss journey, I had 70 pounds to lose. And when I thought about that, it was overwhelming and it was way too much. If I could break it down into, I started with like the 20 pounds being the big thing, but then it was, getting to 5 to add up to that. And sometimes it is just the half a pound, at a time. So make sure it's attainable. And relevant, ours is relevant. So if it doesn't fit your life, you're not going to do it, right? So get real with yourself. Know whether or not it's really something that's worthwhile to you. It's really something you're truly interested in. If it's a priority for you this year. And you know what? If it's not, that's okay. If you thought what I really need to do is make sure I get away from my desk at lunchtime, it's important, but it really, it's not the top of your list because maybe you'd rather be done with work a little earlier so that you can be home with your family a little bit more. Whatever it is, just make sure it's relevant because again, if it's not, you're not going to put that time and energy into it, and then it goes back to feeling like you didn't accomplish something, and then it makes it so that you're not working so hard. And the last thing, the T, it's time bound. Every goal needs a target date, something that motivates you towards it. Now you have to keep in mind it can't be, kind of go back to measurable and actually attainable. It can't be ridiculous, like, this total change is all happening this week, or even necessarily this month. You're kind of thinking of your long-term goals. But it needs to have a target date, and it motivates you to really apply yourself. So something that's time bound, and those smaller goals that you have can have those shorter timelines, along the way. This week I'm going to eat 3 vegetables a day for at least 4 days out of the week. Okay, so again, going back to being realistic, measurable, attainable, all those kinds of things, but also time bound. So just kind of keep that in mind as we move into this next year. If you're looking at making resolutions, setting goals, however you want to refer to them, keep in mind that acronym SMART, S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. And if you want to share those with us, here's something I found about goals. When you share them with somebody else, it suddenly has this extra, I have to do this, attached to it. And it can help. It can also have others help you want to reach those goals. Maybe you're struggling with getting out and going for a walk a couple times a week. But if you ask a friend for help, then they're willing to say, hey, do you want me to go out with you? And then it kind of makes it a little easier to do. So don't be afraid to share those goals with others. It'll put that accountability on it so that you're maybe more apt to work towards it. So if you want to share them with us, you can put them in the comments, or you share them with a good friend who you trust with your goals. Whatever they are, I hope you reach them this next year, that you exceed them, that you have a wonderful and a happy, healthy 2022. And we will see you again next week, next year. Have a good one. Bye.